Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is your girl, TheFairyMuva, and today we are back with another glam. Today's look was inspired by another MUA on Instagram. I will leave her name in the description box below, but I do believe it's Ania_recreations. And of course, I had to add my twist to it, so I do hope you guys enjoy and continue watching. So of course, we're going to go ahead and start off with the brows. So I did put Milk and Magnesia on the brows because my client does have very oily skin. And she tells me she usually get oily around her T area, which is where most of us get oily. And plus she planned on wearing that makeup look that whole entire day. So I kind of wanted to contain the oils on her forehead as well. So I am using my L'Oreal pencil in the shade Brunette, and then I'm going to just draw the brows. It doesn't matter if you mess up because you're going to clean them. Just draw the lines as straight as possible. And then in the front, I'm doing hair-like strokes to give it a more realistic look. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean up her brows. I am using LA Girl Concealer in the shade Fawn. I always start at the arch first. I tell my students the same thing. I find it to be so much easier instead of starting from the beginning and taking it all the way down. Just in case you mess up, it's way easier to fix. So you guys will get a clearer view of what I'm talking about when I do the other brow. But basically all I'm doing is starting from the arch and taking it down to the tail. And then I go to the front of the brow and connect the two. And then you want to just go back in just to make sure that everything is straight and sharp. So to clean the top of her brow, I am using her foundation shade, and I did use NARS. I did mix two foundations together. I forgot the shades that I used, so they will be in the description box below. Literally using the same brush, and all I'm doing here is tracing the top of her brow and carving it at the arch. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a Real Techniques buffing brush just to blend out the concealer. I always start at the top first just because I don't want to carry the concealer upward and then move down to the bottom of the brow. So here all I'm doing is setting the lids with translucent powder. Yes, it's okay to set the lids, guys. Don't listen to anybody telling you that if you set it, the shades won't be as bright or whatever. Just build up your shades. And I find that when you do set the lids, it's way easier to blend. So the palette I'm using is from Be Perfect Cosmetics. I will leave everything in the description box below. And I'm going in with this bright pink. And I'm not even packing it really because it's so bright and pigmented. I'm just going to go straight into blending it into the crease. And as I blend it, it works its way up. So I don't even have to go upwards with it. So all I'm doing here is going back in to darken up the hot pink, and then I'll grab a lighter pink to blend out the harsh edges of that hot pink. Then you want to go ahead and grab a clean brush with no product on it just to blend everything in and make sure that it is seamless. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a Q-tip, and I poured some witch hazel on it just to wipe off any excess product on the lid just to prep it for my cut crease. So to cut my crease, I am going to go in with a Morphe brush that I did mold and my P. Louise base in the shade 0. I am going to do this in one swipe, and I'll clean it up as I go. To get a clean cut, you want to make sure that your brush is as flat as possible and round, and you also want to make sure that your brush is wet on both sides with the product so it can glide on easier. I also have my clients look up just to make sure that the crease is a good size. So when you ask them to look up and it carries, that means that you need to cut the cut crease higher. If it doesn't, then it's fine. So all I'm doing here is going back in just to make sure that my cut crease are similar on both eyes and that everything is sharp and well rounded. Now all I'm doing here is patting off any excess concealer. You guys want to make sure that you do this step because you do not want to put more product on a wet base because it will not sit and it will crack. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a silver shimmer since I am using silver glitters. Whenever you're using glitters, you want to make sure that the shimmer is the same color as the glitter so the look can pop out more. And while I'm doing that, I'm also being careful because I don't want to mess up my cut crease. So now all I'm doing here is blending off the opening of the cut crease with a darker pink. So for my pink liner, I did mix some J. LaRue pigments, and I used this solution. So you want to make sure that you have a good consistency. You want to make sure it's not too thick but not too watery. So if you feel like it's too thick, just add a little bit more solution, and if it's too watery, just add a little bit more pigment. Now it's time to go ahead and add the glitter, my favorite part. So I did apply the glue to my brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and dig into my glitter, which is also from J. LaRue, and I'm going to lightly place it on the lid. I'm going to take my time because I want my glitter placed separately, and I don't want it too much in one spot so her eyes won't be too heavy. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my Inglot gel liner in the shade 77 on her waterline. Now I'm prepping for the skin. I did spray her face with my e.l.f. coconut spray, and I'm going to push that in with my brush. So everything you spray, you want to push in. Then I'm going to go ahead and prime her face with my Milk Hydro Grip primer from Milk Makeup. And then after that, I'm going to put a little MOM because she was going to wear that makeup literally all day, and we did her makeup at 10 a.m. And she is also very oily, so we just wanted to make sure that everything was secure and that her makeup lasted longer. So here I'm just going to go ahead and start applying her foundation. I am using NARS. So I'm just going ahead and spreading it evenly over the face, and then I'm going to spray it down so it's easy to blend. And then I'm going to use my Insta Cheek brush from Real Techniques to blend it all in. When I get to her forehead area with the foundation, sometimes I do go back in and recarve out the top of the brow. As you can see here, I'm just spraying her face down, and then I'm going to use patting motions. We don't want to swipe because it will leave streaks. You want to make sure that you're getting the foundation under her chin and her neck as well, because that is part of the face. Sometimes we have clients who have hyperpigmentation and their neck may be a different color from their chest and their face, so you just want to make sure that you're blending everywhere. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply concealer. Remember guys, less is more, and the concealer should be 2 to 3 shades lighter than your client's skin tone. I always do 2 just to be safe. If you feel like you could go to that 3rd shade, go ahead. I'm going to apply it on the forehead, under the eyes, the nose, her upper lip, and then her chin. And then I'm going to take another Real Techniques brush and blend it out. So I did went ahead and added a lighter concealer just to brighten her under eyes more. I also applied it on her nose, her forehead, the same areas as well. And I'm going to grab the same brush and blend it out again. Now I'm going to go ahead and set her face with my powders. The same way I mix foundations and concealers, I do mix my powder. So I did mix my Laura Mercier translucent with my Sacha Buttercup, and I'm using a sponge to more so press it into her skin. The only area that's going to get like a good amount of powder is under the eyes because we do crease. So as you can see here, I'm pushing as much product in as possible rather than just letting it sit. I'm also going to add a good amount on her smile lines because I don't want that area to crease. Guys, there's really nothing you can do about small lines. It's a part of her skin, it's a part of her smile. So the best way is either to prep it and set it well, but there's really nothing else you can do. And I'm just going to set the rest of her face, and I am using a damp sponge, by the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and powder contour. I don't really cream contour anymore. It saves me a whole bunch of time, and I like powder contour better. So I'm grabbing my Morphe brush, and I'll leave it in the description box below. And I'm grabbing my Black Radiance palette, and I'm just going to bring color and structure back into her face, contour her forehead and her cheekbones, and then her chin. And then I'm going to go to her nose with a smaller brush. When I'm doing a nose contour, I take it all the way up to the brow, and I also blend it into the eyeshadow as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my pressed powder from MAC. So all I'm doing here is getting rid of the setting powder that I did use. As you can see, it's not a lot of fallout because I did not put a lot, and I more so pushed it into the skin rather than just let it sit. Now I'm just going to spray her face down with my Morphe setting mist to get rid of that cakey look and calm the whole face down. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply blush and then highlight. Now, of course, for my chunky glitter liner, all you want to do is apply glue on her lower lash line. Then you want to go ahead and place the glitters individually. You want to go as fast as possible because some clients do have watery eyes, but you also want to be careful that you don't poke their eye or that you don't mess up. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep for lashes. I always apply the glue to the lash line, not to the actual lashes. And then I go ahead and cut off the tips of the lashes, and then I apply them. So you want to make sure that you hold the center first, and then the outer corner, and then the inner corner. You always want to make sure that your glue is tacky or the lashes will not stick. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply lip liner. This is from my beauty supply store by my house. I'm going to line her lips up, and then I'm going to add a nudish pinkish lipstick and then gloss on top. Now all I'm doing here is applying brow gel. This is from e.l.f. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray down her face and push everything in. And then the look will be completed.
There it is. I can't wait to see. Ready? Yes! Bottle, baby! Bottle, baby, bottle, baby, bottle, baby, period. Ooh, this is really cute. Ooh, this is cute. This is giving. Yes, this is cute. Yes, this is really cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I really like this.
Okay.